What if the person you trust the most is the reason behind your deepest pain? What if the child you helped was sent for a purpose? And what if the battle for your destiny was already being fought in a realm you cannot see? For 10 years, Madam Amaka's womb remained empty. She was wealthy, loved, and respected, but her greatest desire, to bear a child, was denied. Then one night, a strange boy appeared at her doorstep. His arrival was no coincidence. This is a story of betrayal, of unseen forces, and a battle fought beyond the physical. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will leave you speechless. Madam Amaka and her husband, Fred, were the wealthiest human hair merchants in Lekki. Yet, behind their wealth and happiness, one thing tormented them: childlessness. Despite a decade of marriage, not even a single pregnancy. Every night, Amaka cried herself to sleep, begging God to take away her shame. To fill the void, she cared for neighborhood children, feeding and nurturing them as if they were her own. But while this gave her temporary joy, her husband disapproved. "Amaka, we don't know these children's backgrounds," he warned. "What if something happens?" She only smiled. "Honey, these children are gifts. If I can't have my own, I love those around me." Then came the night that changed everything. A knock echoed at their door. Fred frowned. Who could it be at this hour? When he opened it, no one was there. A chill ran through the air. He shut the door, shaking his head. The knock came again. This time, when Amaka pulled the door open, a small figure stood in the dim light. A boy, barefoot, his clothes tattered. But his eyes, there was something about them. She gasped. "You, from the market." The same orphan she had given food to earlier that day. But how did he find her house? He didn't speak. He only pointed into the darkness, his tiny fingers trembling. Fred tensed. "Amaka, we can't just let a stranger in." But her heart wouldn't let her turn him away. She took his hand and led him inside. If only she knew, this boy was here for more than shelter. That night, the boy barely spoke. He bathed, ate, and curled up in a blanket on the couch. Amaka watched him sleep, feeling a strange sense of peace, but Fred was furious. "This is not normal. We should take him to the police." By morning, she agreed. At the station, the officers promised to find his family. Yet, as they drove home, an egg settled in her chest. Did I just abandon him? But the real shock came when they got home. Standing at their gate was the same boy. Fred slammed the brakes. No. No, this is impossible." Amaka jumped out. "How did you get here?" Again, silence. Only those deep, knowing eyes staring at her. Then, Mama Yellow stepped out from the house. Mama Yellow was her late mother's best friend, a woman she trusted like family. But the moment her eyes met the boys, the air in the room shifted. They stared at each other, unmoving. The boy's small frame trembled, yet he did not look away. Fred didn't notice, but Amaka felt it, an invisible tension, thick like smoke. Then Mama Yellow spoke, her voice unnervingly calm. "Amaka, my child. You must be careful who you bring into your home." The boy clutched Amaka's dress tighter. That night, sleep refused to come. Just as Amaka drifted off, a whisper brushed against her ears. "Amaka. Amaka, my daughter." Her heart pounded. "Who?" She sat up and froze. The boy was standing by the door, watching her. But something was different. His face, his eyes, they weren't his anymore. They were her mother's. Her breath caught. "Mama." The boy nodded. Then, in a voice that sent chills through her bones, he said, "She is the reason you are barren, my child." Tears filled Amaka's eyes. "Who, Mama?" Who did this to me? Mama Yellow. The room spun. No. Mama, that's not possible. She's been helping me, helping you. The voice was firm. She has been binding you in chains. Each time she took you to a spiritualist, she tied your womb tighter. And you trusted her. Amaka shook her head, but deep inside, she knew it was true. Go to her room. Look under her bag. Trembling, she rose from the bed, tiptoed to Mama Yellow's guest room, and unzipped her travel bag. She gasped. Inside were her missing undergarments, neatly folded. Beneath them, a small clay pot wrapped in red cloth, tied with black strings. Her knees buckled. A sharp intake of breath made her spin around. Mama Yellow was awake. Her eyes gleamed in the darkness. You shouldn't have done that, she said coldly. Rage exploded in Amaka's chest. You cursed me. You made me barren. Why? The old woman sneered. You were never supposed to have children. Your mother broke a pact, so I made sure you paid the price. Tears blurred Amaka's vision. You pretended to love me, Mama Yellow laughed. And you were foolish enough to believe me. Then, the boy stepped forward. But he was no longer just a boy. His form shimmered, shifting, until before them stood Amaka's mother, glowing with unbeaming light. Mama Yellow's face contorted in horror. No. No, this is not possible. It is over. The spirit's voice echoed through the room. Your time is up, a scream tore through the night. And then, silence. Mama Yellow was gone. Days later, Amaka and Fred sought true deliverance. Months passed, then one morning, Amaka woke up vomiting uncontrollably. At the hospital, the doctor smiled. Madam, congratulations. You're pregnant. And not just with one child, you're expecting triplets. Tears streamed down her face. Fred hugged her tightly, his own shoulders shaking. As she cradled her belly, a soft breeze brushed her cheek. For a fleeting moment, she saw her mother smiling at her. You have been rewarded, my daughter. Your kindness unlocked your blessing. Now, raise them with love. A tear slipped down Amaka's cheek. She had been barren for 10 years. But now, she was a mother. A mother of miracles. Sometimes, the battles we fight are not of this world. Be careful who you trust. Not every friendly face is your ally. And remember, kindness has power. It may just be the key to your breakthrough. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.